everybody, it's your crazy fangirl Shivy. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. So today I will be doing my first review on this channel, and it is going to be for Incredibles 2. So I recently went and saw it with my sister. The first original movie was one that we absolutely loved and grew up with throughout our whole childhood. We would watch it all the time, and it is such a great story. And to be honest, even you guys would have seen when I was watching the trailer for Incredibles 2 on my other channel, I was just so nervous about this movie having a sequel because the first one was so good and it had so much high expectations, because obviously we have the new generation watching it, but also the old generation of people who grew up with it and who fell in love with it when it first came out. So I was really nervous about what they were going to do, but my expectations were completely blown out of the park because it was such an amazing movie that I thoroughly enjoyed. It was so good. It really just blew my mind, and I couldn't stop smiling throughout the whole thing, especially at the end. Even watching the credits, I had the biggest smile on my face. And yeah, it was just an amazing movie, and me and my sister absolutely loved it. Just a quick note that there will be spoilers in this video. However, if you look in the description below, you can have a look at the time slots that I put in, and you can click to whichever one that you want to go to, and I will obviously say if it's got spoilers or not. So please, if you would like to skip, go ahead. So the story of Incredibles 2 literally takes place right where we left off, and they are fighting the Underminer, and it's so great to see them fighting him because obviously we saw him and then we never got to actually see what he was capable of, and it was very, very cool to see his plan going into action along with the whole Incredibles family fight alongside each other and fighting against this villain. However, you see from the very beginning that they are having troubles, and this is where the role of Winston Deavor comes in, and he is the man who offers a plan to bring the supers back into the spotlight and into a great new age of supers. But this obviously, as we've seen in the trailer, is all up to Elastigirl. And I have to say that I thoroughly enjoyed Elastigirl's story very, very much. I felt that they did really take a great take on Elastigirl. She really was amazing. I really would have liked a change of color in her costume because the grey seemed very dark, as she says as well. It looks kind of like a villain's costume, but at the same time, I loved it, and I just loved her whole action-packed sequences. It was absolutely amazing to watch her as the lead role in this movie. Mr. Incredible, we see definitely struggling, especially in the trailer as well, but throughout the rest of the movie we see him really struggle with the role of a lead parent. And to be honest, I've read a lot about this. I think it was very, in a way, selfish of Mr. Incredible to kind of go around and, in a way, tell everyone of his problems, be really sad and feel very sorry for himself, when in fact, and this goes to say in reality as well with lots of other wives, Mrs. Incredible never went and complained to him once about having the chores, about looking after the kids, or like helping them with their homework, etc, etc. And what is it? What do you want? You've been crying this whole time. Milo is a little bit tired. So when he gets really tired, he always, oh, thank you. He always comes to me and wants me to put him to sleep. So he sleeps in my lap. So he's a bit cheeky that way. Okay. Excuse me, do you mind? Excuse me. And I think this is one of the negative points of the movie that I felt the most. Like, I know that it's not really a big deal obviously when kids look at it, but from an adult's point of view looking at it now, so that's just one point that I just wanted to touch upon. But other than that, I really enjoyed Mr. Incredible in this film, and he was absolutely hilarious throughout the whole film, and I really, really enjoyed seeing him on the screen again, both in action and as a father. Just a note that in this part I will be talking with spoilers in it, so remember, if you want to skip over, look at the time slots below. Violet's story was very, very good. I really enjoyed it. So with Violet, she has a very interesting story that is so hilarious, and I think in every teenager's eyes it's just like kind of a reality, except minus the powers, and also the fact that Tony's memory was erased of her entirely. But like with the relationship thing, that's what every teenager goes through, like seeing the guy she likes and just like getting embarrassed whenever she sees him and stuff. And it was just absolutely hilarious. This one scene where everybody's making fun of it now is when she realizes that Tony is the waiter to their family dinner, and she just snorts all this water everywhere, and it's absolutely hilarious. Couldn't stop laughing, and it was just a great moment in the entire film. Also, the aspect of her beginning to hate superheroes and the fact that her family is part of the superheroes like genre is like very, very interesting to see. Like, she hates it, and like she feels like she's lost so much of being a teenager because of that, and it's just really, really interesting to see a character not liking the fact that they are from a superhero family. There's also some really great daughter and father moments in this, especially one particularly when after Mr. Incredible goes and drops Jack off at Edna's for babysitting, and he finally gets a break, and then Violet and him sit down and have a bit of a talk, and he is talking about the fact that how he can't be a great father. All he's known is being a good superhero. He's never properly been that as a father because he's usually been the superhero, or he's the one who's always working for them. And she tells him that he really is a super great dad. And that really touched my heart because obviously in this film you see Violet really struggle with her relationship with her father. So it's really nice to see those moments between the two of them. But however, with Dash, I was really, really sad that there wasn't a lot of moments actually with him. There was some great father-son moments between him and Mr. Incredible, but at the same time I was really, really sad that we didn't get to see a lot of him. And I really wanted to see more because I enjoyed him in the first film, but unfortunately we didn't get a lot. So I'm glad though that we got to see lots of action sequences with him in it. Now Jack absolutely stole the show. We hardly saw him in Incredibles 1, but finally he got so much showtime on this film and was absolutely hilarious. His powers were just so amazing. Like, he's able to travel through the dimensions, he can multiply, he can turn to fire, he can turn into beast mode, and it's just absolutely hilarious. And I love the scenes between Edna and Jack because it's just so funny to see them get together. And also he can shapeshift, so in a moment that happens in the film, he shapeshifts into looking like Edna. So it is so funny, and they get along. And there's this one moment where he has like the lollipop in his mouth, and he's like, oh, like as he gets compliments from her, and he's just like, oh my god, like thank you, like all this stuff. It was absolutely hilarious, and I loved it so much. He was so cute. As I spoke about before, the Deavor siblings were so good in this film. Winston Deavor is the lead CEO of DevTech, and his story is very interesting along with Evelyn's, his sister, as he was inspired especially by the death of his father to bring back superheroes. He blames the banning of superheroes for his father's death. I'm not going to go into that too much because you will find out more about that in the film, but he was a very interesting character. The most important character that I found in like so incredibly amazing was Evelyn. And remember, check the spoilers because I'm about to talk about spoilers, so I'll just wait for you to skip. Okay, if you're still here, good. Because Evelyn was behind the whole Screenslaver villain, and she was so good. Amazing how she just switched into a villain, and she was so amazingly good. She was so cool and just so scary, like in the later part of the film, so amazing. And just Screenslaver in general was so scary. Like, there was this one part where it's just like silent, and then Elastigirl's just like creeping around, and then he's like, did you find anything? Kind of like that. And then she turns around and he like scares her. Oh my god, I got so scared as well. And just the whole like scenario of Screenslaver was so interesting, and I absolutely loved it. Speaking on Screenslaver, one factor that was negative on some audiences, especially those who are disabled, it was really sad to see that some people couldn't even watch the film because of some scenes in the movie which Screenslaver is in, and there are lots of flashing lights, and unfortunately that brought a negative effect to the movie. In all honesty, like, I still love those scenes, but I still felt bad that some people couldn't even watch that scene. So incredible because of that particular like effect on the movie, unfortunately, which is why they have the warning at the beginning of the movie. So I hope that maybe one day they cut that scene out, maybe, or maybe even remake it for people who can actually watch it. So hopefully they'll do that. But yeah, Evelyn as a villain, I really thought Winston Deavor was the villain, because I just had this weird feeling like he was setting up everything in the whole film, but he wasn't. It was Evelyn, and it was just so incredible to see that. So good, so interesting. Oh, and I nearly forgot, Edna Mode. absolutely incredible again. So memorable. She only was in it for a little bit, but still was so good. And I love the part where she was telling Mr. Incredible off for the fact that Elastigirl got her costume made by some other superhero designer. So funny, and definitely she has to make them new costumes if there's going to be an Incredibles 3. Now the music of this film. Michael Gucchino, you are an absolute genius. Okay, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I tried, okay? But you are an absolute genius. The music in this film was so good. It reminded me of like old school spy films and even a little bit of James Bond and just even the old Incredible music, because like even the old music from the Incredibles film, because it's just like old school jazz and just like saxophones, and oh, I absolutely adored it. It was so good. And when it comes out, I'm definitely gonna buy the soundtrack because so good. Had chills throughout the whole movie. The music was absolutely amazing and just oh, so good. So I definitely have to say that this film overall was absolutely great for a sequel. I absolutely adored it. Obviously there were some negative parts of the story that I did not enjoy, but at the same time this movie was absolutely amazing. I absolutely loved it. So thank you Pixar and Brad Bird for bringing us an amazing sequel to an old classic that I absolutely loved, and I immediately watched again after coming and watching Incredibles 2. I came home and watched The Incredibles again because it was just so good, and oh, amazing job. So thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of The Incredibles 2. Please give it a like, comment, and tell me what you guys thought of the film, and if you related to any of my points, and if you have any more negative or positive points about the movie, let me know. I'd like to see what you guys like about the movie and what you don't like. One more thing before I go. Please check out my music video of You Are The Reason by Callum Scott on my other channel at SES. You can get my channel at the very end of this video and you can go check it out if you want. It is a song very close to my heart and I'm so proud of the project that I put together for it, and I hope you guys enjoy that. So thank you guys once again, and